Blubrry Podcasting is a leader in implementing Podcasting 2.0 features for Blubrry podcasters, available both in the Blubrry publisher and also in our PowerPress podcasting plugin, the most popular podcast plugin for WordPress in existence today. Today, I want to talk about a new feature that we've added, and it's called Podroll. Podroll has an origin from many, many years ago when individuals used to share on their own websites the shows that they recommended or sites that they recommended. And it used to be called a blog roll. But Podroll is a feature that allows you to recommend podcasts that you love. We provide a widget to share those shows on your website, and the recommendations will also appear in podcast apps at podcastapps.com. And again, this is your very own recommendation engine. As part of this feature, you can also reference specific episodes on other podcasts, or maybe even a side project you've done yourself that has associated podcast, video, or even a music feed. To find this feature in the Blubrry dashboard, you go to the dashboard, you select Show, select Manage, and then select Advanced. And once you're on the Advanced page, you can scroll down and you will find a section that says Shows and Content You Love. And this is essentially the Podroll. Very simple to add a show. Let's say we're going to add my show, Geek News Central. I go over here and click the search button. I find my particular podcast and I add the content and I save. And now in apps that support Podroll, you'll see along with the podcast episode, shows and information or feeds or content. Again, you can add to an RSS feed a specific episode. So you can do, again, let's look at this way, Geek News Central, we'll search, and then you can search for a specific episode within that podcast, and you can add that to your feed. Again, it's a way to reference work that you may love or want to share. These show up in podcast apps from podcastapps.com. Again, is your recommendation engine, and it basically will show that shows and basically episodes that you love. And it can be an ever-evolving process. Now, over on PowerPress, you go into Settings, Feeds, Feed Settings, you scroll down, and again, you're going to find the section that says Shows and Content You Love. You can add to your Podroll. You can add to your RSS feed. Again, the Podroll is designed for shows that you want to recommend. The RSS feed is essentially, can be, again, an episode, specific episode, or a music track, or these are the types of things contained within RSS feeds that you can recommend. So this is a great little feature. Again, most of these functions are going to show up on websites to support the Podcasting 2.0 functions, as well in apps at podcastapps.com.